Welcome to Life Point TV. I'm Pastor Dale Phillips, and you've joined us for our Life Point broadcast, Your Path to Real Life. You've joined us in our continuing study from the uh, dealing with fruit, trees and fruit. We started here in Matthew chapter 7, trees and fruit. And I want to just kind of recap um, a couple of points. Uh, Join me in chapter 7, Matthew chapter 7, and we're going to just reread, if you will, verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, and a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. That's verse 18. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. We ended in our last instruction dealing with the fact that once a tree has established the fruit that it's going to produce, that fruit does not change later on down the line. What Jesus shows us here in this teaching illustration is a tree that produces good fruit can never produce corrupt fruit. The contrast is just as true. A tree that produces corrupt fruit is never going to start producing good fruit. This is really a dual analogy because it's representative of the ministry that Jesus brings to his audience, to the people that were following him in his day, who were trying to attach certain labels to him as perhaps not being who he said he was, and comparing him to previous prophets that had come who turned out to be false. In the verses leading up to this selection that we're focusing on, Jesus identifies the contrast between the false prophet who might appear to be good, but on the inside is really a ravening wolf. This analogy or this review was necessary for Jesus to separate himself from those who had come before him that were not true teachers of Torah. They turned out to be false. They turned out to be non-credible. Jesus says, here's a way that you can know that I am credible, that I am a true prophet by the fruit that I produce. Because if the fruit that I am giving you is good fruit, it's not going to change later into corrupt fruit. It's going to always be good. And on the other hand, those false prophets, those persons that have come before me or that might have been contemporaries during his day, if they were producing fruit that appeared to be good but is discovered to be false, appears to be true, discovers to be false, appears to be good, discovers that it's evil, that fruit is never going to become true, nor is it going to become good. It's going to remain false and always be evil. The other side of this teaching points towards you and I to understand uh, how important it is to make our decision about what tree we are going to feed from in life, because that tree is going to give birth to the fruit that we will continue to produce. More importantly, it's going to feed us and give direction to us, or to give strength to us in the direction of life that we will continue to travel. We reminded you early on that the illustration between God and man in the early creation was established over understanding what tree to feed from and what tree to stay away from. The same is still true present day. Just like Adam, we need to navigate through life knowing what tree to feed from and what trees to avoid. Jesus wanted to make sure that those following him understood that he was producing fruit that was good, not evil. And if the fruit he's producing is good, it's never going to become evil. I share this with us so we can understand that If we choose the correct tree, the tree of life, that tree that we are feeding from is never going to start feeding us death later on. We don't have to try to, pick and choose every single day. If I'm going to find another tree, another source that is going to help me thrive, help me to move forward, we need to establish and understand that the tree we're feeding from that gives us life today is going to continue to sustain us. It's going to always give us good fruit. I want you to uh, see this, how we insert something that we learn from the Gospels later on, where the scripture says that every good and perfect gift comes from above, from the Father of lights. God always gives us the good and the perfect gifts, the good and the perfect fruit that we need in this life. It's never going to change. So if you're feeding from the tree of life today, that same tree is going to continue to sustain you every day. So I encourage you, stay on that path, feeding from that tree that gives you real life. This is Pastor Dale Phillips. I'll see you on the next broadcast.